Alright, hey everybody. We're here with the Z2R Routing Royale Tournament Grand Finals. Our commentator today is going to be Jay Coper. How are you doing?
I'm good. There's a chance that Nightcrawler might join me. I'm not sure where he is, but
Yeah.
either way, I'll be here. And yeah, looking forward to this race here. Should be fun.
Awesome, I'll let you handle things.
Yeah, I was in this tournament and eliminated last week. Didn't play as well as I would have liked, but I have played through this seed a bit this week, just to see what my what kind of time I could have put up if I was playing. I haven't actually put up a time, but I've routed it pretty thoroughly, and there's a lot of interesting decisions to be made in this seed. I think 3 of the palaces are pretty easy choices, 1, 2, and 3. But there's an argument for doing 4, 5, or 6, and based on what I'm seeing here... Oh, actually, looking at TheCowness splits, it's even different from what I thought it was. Interesting. Well, maybe P1 and P2 are the only 2 obvious ones to do. Huh. Yeah, that was just recently added within the last couple weeks, Paratroopa.
Alright. Runners are ready, so we should be starting.
Yeah, this should be a quick race. I don't know what the time is, but probably sub 30. Alright, here we go. Looks like TheCowness is setting up a walk. Xarnax has a little bit of something going here too. TheCowness is starting out by getting Thunder in Saria here. It's the only spell that's absolutely required. Xarnax is gonna farm these strippers. They have Magos worth 200 each. You can't kill them in 1 hit until level 3, so this is a bit dicey, but it looks like he's getting there. TheCowness. Not a fan of his manipulation, he found. It is interesting that he walked straight up and then came along that path. Oh, he didn't get the bag. I found a manipulation that goes to Death Mountain that gets that P-Bag. There. Is this not to Death Mountain? Oh, it is to Death Mountain. I forgot which cave was Death Mountain, I guess. He got an encounter there, though. That's disappointing. Oh, I wonder if that was intentional. Getting that red Dyra there. Oh, I didn't watch Xarnax's walk to Death Mountain. But here is the boots in Death Mountain, which are 100% required. You'll see why shortly. Yeah, I think you just gotta, do lots of trial and error. If you're a tasser, maybe you can, figure something out that doesn't need trial and error, but as far as I know, that's about what it takes. And an up-nay at the boots. Xarnax is up to 323. You absolutely need 6 magic containers in this seed, unless you get magic 8, because Thunder is 86 or something until magic 8. So that's one magic container they're getting, and the other one will be shortly. So they both got the boots now, and Xarnax is... Oh, Xarnax still has to get Thunder here. TheCowness is going to get the raft over in this cave. Yeah, they're gonna converge here shortly, I think. Xarnax does have the extra magic container, whereas TheCowness is almost to the boots, so it's kind of hard to tell. And Xarnax, of course, has the better levels. I'm sorry, I'm really surprised that Xarnax... Oh, he did up a name. Okay. I forgot when the up-nay actually happens on the spells. I was thinking you got an up-nay right there. Alright, that was a pretty good walk over to the raft cave. Oh, he got an encounter though. I think something went wrong. And TheCowness is taking a death. Must have fell in the lava. Yeah, Xarnax went ahead and killed some of those Magos right away. Their levels are going to be very different in the endgame. I can tell you that much. So, this is where things start to get interesting, because we're going to see them head to the east, and there is a lot of potential manipulation to do in the east. They need this magic container that's on this desert tile. There's almost no way around it. Very similar manipulations right there. I like that Xarnax gets the double fairies. Those are comforting. Even if you screw up with the double fairy walk, after getting them to show up, you're still just going to get a fairy spawn instead of an actual encounter. Alright. Picking up Reflect. So if you want to do P4, you got to pick up Reflect. That's kind of the rule. Xarnax is skipping Reflect because he is not going to do P4. Spoilers. Oh, TheCowness is up and aid after getting Reflect, which makes sense, because he wants to set up a fresh manipulation. And he's probably going to take that manipulation all the way to either the magic key or the fire spell, which is linked with fairy. There's kind of a few options we have here, so it will be interesting to see what they choose to do. This connector over in the swamp here is 100% required to get to the south. Oh, Xarnax taking an encounter right there. He's grabbing this pea bag out of this forest tile. He's gonna kill this blue Lazalfos here too as well to get up to attack 4. And Maybe not immediately, but... Oh, TheCowness doing the same thing. Not the exact same thing, because he's not getting to attack 4, but, using Thunder there. That's probably the way to go. I wonder why Xarnax didn't think of that. He's got the power to cast Thunder. Yeah, I think that would have been a smart play. But yeah, Xarnax up to attack 3, or attack 4, and TheCowness up to attack 3. I don't have the stats open anymore, but I think that attack 3, like, attack 1, attack 2, and attack 3 are definitely all the same. I think maybe even attack 4 is the same too. So... yeah, okay. So TheCowness is going to get fire over in this town here, and Xarnax is getting the magic key. No. I mean, they're all the same. Like, your attack power does not increase. Fire is fairy, yes. Your attack power does not increase until at least attack 4, but I think it might be attack 5. Yeah, I was a little surprised when I started using this other tool here that tells you what your attack is at each level. But, yeah. Someone was saying there's a bug of some sort. Ugh, I don't like this walk after getting the key here. If you walk from the town up there, you can get down to the path and then just take one path encounter to get to Palace 1. So, Xarnax does make it to Palace 1 first, though. And he's got better stats, so this looks promising for him so far. Xarnax did not get the glove yet. Wonder if that's on the docket for after. He's gonna want to take more than one route in this palace. We'll see what his plan is. Yeah, neither of them went and got the glove. I don't know why. I guess they want to save out of getting the glove, maybe, or no. Are we really killing this blue iron knuckle? Well, not on this life anyway. Are any keys required here? Yeah, keys are required in every dungeon. Like, Xarnax has the magic key, though, and TheCowness can cast fairy, so he's fine. Well, the glove isn't required in this dungeon, but it will be required to pick up before we leave this area. Hopefully neither of them is forgetting it, and they're just master routers. I guess it makes sense. Oh, wow. TheCowness did an up and A. That's rough. Did he not have enough magic for the, using fire? That's really rough. So Xarnax now at 4-2-3. He's gonna get 5-2-3 from this gem. So what putting off the glove does for Xarnax is he's able to walk out, walk back in, and then he'll get his level right here while he's walking to the glove. I think that was the biggest thing, because he's probably gonna up an A and save from the glove, I'm guessing. Head back to the west. Yeah, that game over was pretty big for TheCowness. If you take a magic level or two, fire gets really cheap in a hurry. It's cheaper than fairy at every level, which is why, even though fairy is pretty easy to get, it's not really a consideration. Yeah. Xarnax doing a minute now to get down to P2. TheCowness is struggling, man. This is like the worst spot in the game for a hammer brother, maybe. Oh, also on the P2 bridge is bad. Oh, another up and A. That is awful. He could have taken Magic 2. Magic 2 is only 80, and Magic 3 is not that expensive either, so, yeah, and he could have taken Magic 2 right there, too. That Magic 2 would give a lot of leeway, because, fire goes down to, like, 56 or something at Magic 2, so, it just gets much easier to handle. Xarnax making his way through P2. TheCowness killing this dude. Probably gonna take a death abuse, maybe? No, I guess not. That would have been a good time for one. But maybe it's safer to not die there, based on the trouble he's been having. Getting through with all of his magic unscathed from those bubbles. Now I just wish even more that I would have been playing this week. Only myself to blame, though. Xarnax taking down Helmet Head. We've had so many really easy Helmet Heads lately. I think last week when we wrote it in, there was 3 of them. Or 3-hit Helmet Head, sorry. And we had a 1-hit Horse Head last week, too. I really doubt that he was getting much of an advantage. I don't see the advantage to not leveling up Magic to Magic 2. Magic gets super expensive at Magic 4. It's like 730 or something. But at Magic 3 it's still like 280, so. What's up, Nightcrawler?
What's up?
Oh, so Xarnax is skipping downstab yet again. That's what we're learning right here. He is a bold man. TheCowness has had a ton of trouble over on his side, so the race is turning not super exciting here unless something bad happens to Xarnax. Oh, and looks like TheCowness is having trouble with his fairy feet too, so. Ooh, this looks rough. Please let him get out. Okay. Yeah, but Xarnax already has 1 and 2 done. It would have been interesting. Oh, and TheCowness just game overed. That sucks.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not confident in doing Rebanak without downstab at all. And also that room in P3 that nominally requires down stab, and otherwise you gotta do those trick jumps. That seems a little tough, but let's see how Xarnax handles this, and he takes down Rebenax, so I'm thinking he's probably good.
So it looks like Xarnax is definitely in the lead right now.
Yeah, for sure. He's got 3 palaces done to Cowness's 1, and Cowness doesn't really have any advantage, so...
Oof.
Oh, that is a crazy manip that Cowness is doing right there.
That walk was slick. What?
Yeah,
Is he gonna go all the way? Nice.
He went to P3, though. Why did he not go to P2 first? That's interesting. Why is he in... Oh, he's probably going to P3 because of, because he failed getting to P4. So this is like a backup plan. I'm guessing. Alright, so Xarnax is gonna set up a walk here to go all the way to P6, which is on Maze Island.
Yeah, they are. Trails, these are both really good walks.
No! Xarnax screwed something up, though. There's no way that he intended to get into that encounter right there.
Yeah, but he's almost there anyway, so...
Right. Yeah. I didn't look at Maze Island too much. Don't know if any encounters are required, but probably not. So, but Maze Island is, it's pretty close to GP, so he can just do a normal walk out of here after he's done killing Barba, and then he'll move on and fight Thunderbird and stuff in Great Palace.
And just so you know, I apologize for not showing up earlier. There's a little bit of a fire scare where I live, and I know you're good at solo comms, so I'm sure it was fine.
Yeah, I think we were okay. I've looked at this seed quite a bit, so I probably know it better than anyone that's not these two, I would imagine. Both of these guys' routes are quite different from the route that I came up with too. I actually think that going to Palace 5 is probably the fastest decision, because you can go through Parappa Cave after doing Palace 3, and Palace 5 is a few steps away after that, so...
So Jay Cooper doesn't have the glove, but he's in P3, and the Spiral log here says that glove is required.
Oh, did he forget the glove?
That's what chat's saying in the tracker.
Oh my god. Yeah, Cowness is toast. But I was talking about how in Palace 1, so the glove was in Palace 1, you had to go to the left at start to get the glove, and Xarnax put it off, but he did get it after finishing the level. The Cowness had several game overs in Palace 1, and it was really, or maybe not entirely game overs, but up and A's regardless, that were really costly. And maybe out of frustration, he just forgot to go and get the glove. So yeah, the Cowness is just in. There's nothing good about what's happening over there, and that's really unfortunate.
I'm not looking forward to the Countess realization. Oh, and he took a death there. Could have avoided that for sure.
I think the Countess already knows that he's forgotten the glove, because he went into P3 and then got stuck, I believe. Yeah, he's gonna do 5, and then 2, and then maybe get the glove, but it doesn't matter. I mean, Xarnax is probably gonna finish by the time the Countess is done doing any of that.
Yeah.
Xarnax, by the way, is just dominating his splits, which is not super surprising, because I know he hadn't put a whole lot of time into it until the last couple days, maybe. And that's awful game over. Wow.
Let's say, wow, 823. That's very aggressive.
Yeah. So he's got some levels built into his route right here from Thunderbird. Obviously, you don't get much safety against Thunderbird, but
Well, it's an early Thunderbird, so there's safety in that.
yeah, that's true. You can game over. He could game over here for a good 15 minutes and it'd still be okay, I think. So
Here comes 1,000. Yep. Does it ever get randomized? It seems like it's always 1,000.
I'm really surprised that Xarnax is skipping that magic level. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think he's planning on getting it. He's planning on getting it in 110 experience, I think.
Yeah, he's probably gonna get the life level first, I would think, and then get the magic level. A 70-point Thunderbird. That sounds awful.
I think he meant 700, but yeah. Whew.
Oh god, Xarnax. That was impressive. That was impressive.
I know he wanted that red jar, but it was probably the smart move to ignore it.
I don't know that he's worried about the red jar because he probably wasn't planning on having it routed in. Now he's got to stab these blocks a bunch, and that... Oh,
Sure,
he's alive.
but-
No, through no fault of his own, he's remained alive, but yeah, it didn't last long. Alright, now we should be able to get down there, I'm sure.
Yeah, does he have Reflect? No.
No.
Okay, so... The only thing he could have done to prevent that death would be to cast Thunder.
Yeah,
Which-
Xarnax has 0 spells besides Thunder, so... There's not a whole lot of safety strats that he can use in this GP.
Well, there's the glove for TheCowness. I think he must know he's toast right now. I would have very much liked to have seen a closer game here, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Really, the race, for all practical purposes, was probably over when TheCowness took his first up and A in Palace 1. But TheCowness has since... I mean, you saw his up and A counter, it was like 15 or something. And,
Wow.
yeah. So, that includes up and A's and game overs, but, yeah. I think ideally it should be closer to 5. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, Xarnax has played pretty well. Xarnax is on pace, looking at his splits, for about a 20, low 27 maybe. Not entirely sure. And the Countess's PB is 28.48, which I don't know how much play he had in his PB splits as far as like if he felt he could do a lot better than them. But yeah, the Xarnax was Xarnax was definitely well on pace to beat the Countess's PB easily. So
Yeah, I just wanted to say that when the Red Folk kind of had him pinned, he took that very calmly and rationally and got out of that situation. And now he's in this paperclip room. Still has 3 lives in his backup, so I think he's going to be fine. He's probably almost to Dark League already.
yeah, there was an early 1-up in the drop table for the small enemies, so he might have routed that in. 'Cause I think he did die twice in GP. But this is Dark Link.
No way to lose here.
Yeah, it'd be shocking if he lost 1 life, let alone 3 or 2.
That's it. Well, finishing with an official SRL time of 27 minutes and 32 seconds, Xarnax takes the whole tournament. And that's got to feel good. TheCowness, however, it looks like he's called it for this one.
Yeah, he's not finishing.
Yeah, he did forfeit him. That's right.
Xarnax is coming in. I'm a little surprised the SR bot didn't say that he forfeited.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't announce that. I don't know.
That's interesting.
I've never had a forfeit in a 1v1 before.
Oh, really? They happen pretty frequently in tournament races. Like,
Yeah.
I forfeit more often in tournament races than any other time because I just want to be able to come in and interview and stuff and not worry about just everyone watching me while I finish instead. Interviewing is more interesting usually.
Well, looks like we have both of our racers in the chat here. So how's it going, guys? Congratulations, Xarnax.
Yeah, GG. Congrats, Xarnax.
Xarnax is stunned. Silent.
If you're talking, we
There
can't
we go.
hear you. There you are.
Nope. Just got here.
Oh, okay.
All right.
GG, Xarnax.
Thank you very much.
Uh,
Oh man.
your plan seemed pretty solid, and it obviously must have been your best run of this route you've had, because you had a PB by a couple minutes, I saw.
I was, best run on either route by over 2 minutes.
Yeah, and then the TheCowness, the things just started going bad in Palace 1 early. You guys
Yeah.
were pretty close. You guys were super close going into Palace 1, really. And then
Oh, nice.
the TheCowness like was getting hit by bubbles and losing magic, so he couldn't cast fire for fairy. And he kept having to up an A, and then it just turned bad. Then he forgot the glove after all of that frustration. So
Oh man,
yeah.
I forgot the glove a couple times in my runs. I know how easy that is to do, but man, that's super frustrating. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, honestly, I was nervous entering P1, and then the dog started crying for God knows what reason, and that was just too
Oh.
distracting. So I hit that
Right.
blue knuckle on the crumble bridge too many times and died to it, and then I hit to the bubbleman. I had to up A, and then I was like +7 or like 3 or 4 minutes leaving that, and then I game over trying to fairy feet to P4 and just had to really give up at that point.
Yeah, man. See, Jay
Good.
Coper and mentioned, and then you'd mentioned the two of the biggest issues that I was scared of. Like the magic was so tight in the route that I
Mhm.
was looking at up until yesterday. Last night, I was like, I wonder if it's possible to skip fire and get the magic key and not lose time. And I discovered that it was.
I mean, as far as the magic being tight goes, I would have just taken magic 2, and then fire goes down to like 56
It's
or
still
something, and it's
32. It's still
But-
magic 2 is
Yeah,
So,
Magic 2 you
it's
can still only cast
56.
it once.
Right, so you need to death warp a lot, and the big issue with it is if you mess up fairy feet on the way to 4, you're done.
Yeah, I was
So-
Magic 1 at that point, and I was going to pick up Magic 2 and P4 for a Magic refill and stay Magic 3 for the rest of the run.
Yeah. So, what did you? I assume you started the run grinding drippers.
No, I didn't kill any drippers
Oh.
until my second to last palace.
Oh wow.
So I was entering P1 at 313, and then getting to P2, I was 523, and I would kill I think 3 Magos with Thunder, and then
You
get a magic
Thunder,
level
that
off of that.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Nice. Yeah, that was my first. I started the run. I just went straight to Palace 2 to get 323. This was by far the best grind for that I've had. That was gold by 20 seconds. On
Yeah,
average, it usually took me around 2 minutes to get there. This one took me a minute 20. I had an amazing start and was feeling good. Like, the whole run went really smooth. I had one bad split when I was walking to the Magic Key. I took, basically to that cave after taking the raft for the first time. I got 4 encounters on the way to that cave.
Yeah.
So,
Other than that,
in the route that I've been toying with, I think that it might actually be fastest to go to Palace 5. Because
it's possible. I believe it.
If you do 2 and then 3, Parappa Cave is just a few steps away from Palace 3, and that comes out right next to Palace 5, and there's no encounter there. So you just get into Palace 5 for free, basically. So it's just a matter of navigating, which isn't very difficult.
I honestly didn't even look at it. I saw the Z2R mappers path through 5, and I'm like, nope. Never even looked at it.
Yeah, I never went into 3 or 5. I actually didn't realize 3 required downstab, as we saw today. So when I game over it on the way to 4, I didn't realize I forgot the glove, so I was just going to do 3 or 5 instead. Because I had the instructions up, but I didn't realize 3 required downstab, so I had to up A out of there, and then I died to Guma and game overed, and just walked back to P1 and waited for you to finish, really.
Yeah. Xarnax did 3 without downstab, though. There's a way to get through that room without downstab. You just have to go to the bottom and then hit the blocks from below. And
yeah, I've done that before. I just wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah,
makes sense.
I don't think you had the glove yet either when you.
No, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
I would have figured it out pretty quickly. I didn't realize till I was in P5 and thought about checking if that elevator room was the one that has a red jar in the block. Then I realized I didn't have the glove to break the block. Though you don't need it to get the jar. That's what triggered me to remember that I didn't have it.
Man, that's unfortunate. I'm so what were your guys' PBs on your routes? I'm really curious how.
I only finished 2 runs. I was doing mostly segmented practice, but my PB was a 28-minute high 28.
Oh wow, that's a good route then.
I didn't finish a real run yet. I might do that later.
Yeah, that's crazy. My PB before this run was a mid 29. But I knew looking at my golds that I had time to save everywhere. I just needed it all to come together in one run. Man, one of the most exciting things on this one, I had a couple runs that did die in GP. If I got bad luck with fireballs or something, and I managed to not kill 5 small enemies basically the entire run. So I was able to get a 1-up in my last palace right before I went to GP.
Oh wow!
I can't remember if I actually had to use that or not. I think I did.
I mean, you got the 1-up and you died twice, so you still had another life to spare.
Oh, okay.
I was walking from 6 to GP, and there was a 1-up on the way, but you had to cast Fairy to get it, which meant you had to die for Thunderbird anyway, so you couldn't really pick that up. So I did a lot of GP practice because I didn't have any extra lives in there.
TheCowness, you might want to go back and watch Xarnax's GP because he made some ridiculous escapes there to survive on very low health, and it was something.
Yeah. I imagine even with cheap fairy, there were a couple annoying rooms in Great Palace. Most of the rooms were just empty, though. Right. I was trying to decide why I didn't like the Seed so much, because this was my least favorite of the 4 I played, and I think it's because there just weren't really many rooms in the whole run that had tough enemies in it. It wasn't very interesting combat.
That's a really good point. Yeah. It made routing really interesting, I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe not the lack of combat, but partly that,
Like-
but also just the seed itself. Like every palace was a viable option.
Yeah. Like, you wouldn't know it looking at, my route here, but my run in the match here, but none of the palaces were difficult at all that I was going into. Even without fairy, they would have been pretty easy.
Can confirm.
I didn't even consider Magic Key, though, because Naburu was sitting right next to Palace 1, which had the glove in it, so I felt like that was pretty obvious to go there first, but I guess you could have done some palaces that didn't need the glove
the key.
first.
The key was right there too.
Ah.
It was a few extra steps to the east, but it was in that same landmass.
Okay.
Yeah, there were a ton of interesting decisions. This one, I could have toyed with this a lot more and tweaked it. I was really happy with the route I came up with, mostly just because, for the most part, it felt like it was minimized a lot of risks that the other routes I was looking at was taking. Like, once I got my 3-2-3, it was pretty safe until GP.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot that could go wrong.
Something else that I was doing at the start in my route theorizing is picking up Thunder and picking up the 2 magic containers, then up an A and going to P2, and then killing Mongols with Thunder instead of using the sword, which is, obviously possible, but slightly risky.
Right. No, that makes a ton of sense. I liked being able to route that Eastern magic container into a trip while I was doing something else, but it was not that far out of the way. It definitely have saved time if you got...
Yeah, plus if you route in that magic container into a trip where you're doing something else, then you have to worry about trying to get a walk out of that magic container, which just makes things more complicated.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, it was too difficult for me to actually get out of there with, like, frame perfect movement. So I got that jar, and then I got reflect, and then I up 8 and started over.
So I noticed that I think it was TheCowness maybe set up a walk that went through the P-Bag spot in the west.
Yeah.
On the way to Death Mountain. I also did that, but then I wrote it in where I could pick up that P-Bag. So I was starting by picking up that P-Bag and then getting 2-on-3 at the boots.
I wasn't grabbing it because it was 50 points, so I just killed a Red Dyra in Death Mountain instead. I had a manipulation that actually avoided the encounter I got there, but I wanted the 200 XP from it.
Yeah, I thought that was a little interesting that you had a manipulation going and you still ended up getting an encounter in Death Mountain, but then I saw you got the 200 and I thought, well, that makes a lot of sense that you're getting some experience from that. So
I wanted the 2 life
Dyras
levels to get past those gorillas.
Yep. Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing Death Mountain without life. I think life 3, probably at least.
Yeah, 1 Dyra got you to life 3.
Yep. I looked at a manipulation that got the magic jar in the east, and then got the P-Bag on the lava tile, and then went into the cave. And I had one, but it requires your P-Bag grab to be frame perfect. Apparently, mine wasn't. Unfortunately, the walk that I had was absurd. It also required like 3 slinks.
My manipulation that went through that P-Bag was pretty much frame perfect. Like, if when I was starting to practice it, I was pushing down too early before like the screen faded out, and that would cause the enemy to just barely touch me if I was even like a frame early pressing down. I had to wait till the screen turned blue and then hit it. That was a funny manipulation, though, because there was one point where there were 12 enemies on the screen and none of them touched me. I was pretty confident I wasn't going to be able to get to Death Mountain at a certain point with manipulation.
Yeah, both you guys had some incredible walks.
Thanks.
It probably took me like 30 minutes to come up with that one. The long one in the east was a lot easier.
Interesting. It's oh man, the worst is when I'm playing around and I find something like I'm at a safe spot, like from a safe state, and I find something that finally works, and then I don't remember how I got to the safe point.
Yeah. Yeah, I just open up Microsoft Paint and draw lines on it as I'm moving.
Yeah, I started when just recording, local recording, so I can go back and watch the video to see how I got there.
Yeah.
But yeah, those have been a lot of fun. The whole tournament's been a blast. I really enjoy. I love the idea of taking a completely new puzzle, basically, using mechanics that we're already familiar with.
Yeah. I don't know if I've mentioned this yet in interviews, but that's kind of like what I've been doing earlier this year. So that's why this tournament interested me. Really was I'd gotten a puppy later last year, so I couldn't do like long speed runs. So I started routing some stuff instead. So I routed a speed run for a Dragon Warrior 3 ROM hack, which I'm very familiar with the mechanics in that game, and then also a challenge run of Dragon Quest Monsters for the Game Boy. So this was really along the same vein of stuff that I'd been doing.
Nice.
Yeah. And I mean, the actual races are a lot shorter too. So
yeah, that's nice.
I guess they're way more work than just a pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to talk about total time invested, I mean, it's beyond what I would put in. And that's why you guys are up here and I'm not.
I would estimate I put in about 15 hours a match to routing and practice.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah. Well, I got nothing else going on. I know a lot of the other players in the tournament had other matches. Like you're in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer, right? So I got no other commitments right now, though.
But yeah, I mean, like that's a commitment of 2 hours a week.
Yeah.
You guys face off in Dragon Warrior Randomizer pretty often?
No, I haven't played Dragon Warrior Randomizer in about 2 years. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Okay.
Yeah, the chat was definitely impressed with those walks, though.
Nice.
Yeah. So, props to both of you for coming up with some cool things for everyone to see and making it this far.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. You put on a good show for everyone.
They sure did. Alright, so that's going to wrap up our coverage of this tournament. This was the grand final. So I want to thank our runners. Congrats to Xarnax for taking the whole thing down, and to TheCowness for an impressive run to second place today. Thank you to Jay Coper and Nightcrawler for lending their voice to the race today, and to Star14681 for tracking for us today. Like I said, this is the close of the tournament. I'm not sure if you guys have another one planned already, but we will have the weeklies still going on Tuesday nights at 9 Eastern. If you want some more Z2R action. And
there's signups going on for a standard tournament in I think a month or two.
Okay. Well, you can look forward to seeing that on ZSR when it starts up. As far as tomorrow's schedule, we've got Ocarina of Time Randomizer Weekly at 9 a.m., Minish Cap Randomizer Weekly at 2 p.m., and then 3 Link to the Past Randomizer Cross Keys matches. So there's going to be Link to the Past action all day on ZSR tomorrow. You guys have
glad to
anything
hear
else
they're
to
on
add?
schedule.
Anybody else have anything to say before we go?
No, I think...
Congrats again to Xarnax.
Hey, thanks. And yeah, thanks to Jay Coper, TheCowness, for giving me some solid competition, making me worry and put everything I can into my routes. Thanks to Alan Heffley for helping run this tournament. ZeldaSpeedRuns for restreaming all the races they have. Nightcrawlers picked up a ton of commentary. So yeah, thanks to everyone doing everything behind the scenes. It was a lot of fun.
Of course.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure to have you guys on. Look forward to the next tournament you guys do, and with that, we'll call it a night. Thank you everybody for watching, and see you tomorrow.